In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 steps on how you can get up to an $80,000 credit card with Navy Federal, even with bad credit. Now, with Navy Federal, it's the only institution I've seen people with 580 credit scores that, if they took the steps I'm going to mention in this video, was able to get from the start a $25,000 credit card. So you want to make sure that you follow the steps in this video so you can get those larger credit limits to get you closer to that $80,000 limit, even if you have trouble credit. Now, in order to apply for any of the Navy Federal products like a credit card, you must be a member. Now, in order to be a member, you must be connected to the military by being active duty veteran, or you can be a spouse or a child, or there are other options, like if your parent served in the military that is deceased, or grandparent, you can provide documentation in order to join, or being a contractor with the federal government. And even if you have your children in ROTC, those are ways where you can become a member of Navy Federal. You can also join if you are a roommate of an account holder of a Navy Federal account, but just keep in mind, Navy Federal do verify that information. Now, step number 1 out of the 5 is, first, with Navy Federal, you want to make sure that you build a relationship by using their products and services. Now, if you are a new member or become a new member, you want to at least wait 90 days because it's all about relationship. They actually have an internal credit score, which goes from 800 to 450. And with that internal credit score, this is how they judge you actually getting their loans and their credit cards. They do look at your current FICO scores, but with this internal credit score, it actually is a way for them to judge your relationship and how you work with them, because they depend on their members in order to keep their banking going. So one of the things that you can do is use other products with Navy Federal, such as direct deposit, also money marketing accounts, savings, checking accounts. So you want to get multiple accounts in order to improve that relationship. And even if you have a business accounts with Navy Federal, this helps improve your internal credit score. Now, many people will tell you to get the pledge loan, but I want to warn you to be careful. I do not recommend the pledge loan. I made whole videos because adding debt on your credit report actually can help decrease your credit score, and it is not the fastest way to increase your credit score. Understand, with debt being added on your credit report, it can qualify you for less. Now, I do understand many people tell you with the pledge loan, you pay off 90% of that account, so you don't have a lot of debt. But I have seen people that actually pays it off earlier than a year and add multiple pledge loans. And understand, a pledge loan is an installment loan. So when that loan closes out, it can decrease your credit score because it decreases your age of credit. There's a better way of doing this and building a relationship instead of the pledge loan. Get the secured credit card if your score is really struggling and you can't get any credit card products with Navy Federal. By adding on a revolving line of credit, even a secure credit card, you can see an increase in your credit score by 40 points on average by adding on a revolving credit card. Just make sure you don't have any outstanding accounts that are in the negative, or you don't have anything negatively impacting your credit score every month, like late payments, for that hack to work for you by using revolving lines of credit to boost your credit score. Within that 30-day window, you should see an increase of your credit score by 49 points. Now, step number 2, you want to improve your current credit scores as much as possible really quickly before you apply. Even if you've already been a member over that 90-day mark, just make sure that you're in the best standing as all possible. Now, with Navy Federal, they're going to look at TransUnion with that FICO score 9 scoring model, which actually do not look at medical collections. So this is why you can get larger credit cards with Navy Federal with trouble credit. Also, with FICO score 9, you can increase your credit score by adding on rent reporter accounts that they will look at that as positive payment history. Now, the one I suggest the most is Rental Kharma, because they do report to Equifax and TransUnion. And the thing I like about Rental Kharma, you can report your payment history for your rent all the way back since you've been residing in that unit. Even if it's been 11 to 20 years, you can add on that information and your ongoing payments to your credit reports. Now, with that, it's going to add on more positive payment history that's backdated, and that's going to improve your payment history, which is 35% of your credit scores. And with Rental Kharma, they can report that within 3 days. Now, they also have rent reporter services like Boom. Boom reports to all three, even Experian. But the only thing with Boom, you must have paid your rent out of your bank account. And you also can only go back for 2 years prior. So Rental Kharma, I have found to be the best. Now, you can also increase your credit scores really quickly within 7 days with Ava. Ava is an account which they will use your utility payments to report, such as your Netflix account, different subscriptions, and report up to a $2,500 line of credit to your credit report. And they can do that within 7 days. And that will increase your credit score because it can help your utilization. Just keep in mind, if you have current negative items hitting your credit report, you need to take care of that. Now, if you have negative items on your credit report, my elite credit system with my AI software and credit coaching help users like Sean. He went from a 612 credit score where all his credit scores over 770 in a matter of 6 months. And now he's at an 803 credit score, and he was able to get business credit for his business. Now, with my software and my coaching, you can help remove your negative items off of your credit report that will put you in a better position when it comes down to your credit score. So if you have consumer debt, such as old credit cards or charge-offs, it is best to get those removed if all possible. And removing hard inquiries off of your credit report, which is easier to do. I give you a free hard inquiry removal package at my website, which you can download for free to help you get off those hard inquiries because they cost you 3 to 5 points off of your credit score. And those are simple things that you can do to increase your credit score quickly to help you get that Navy Federal credit card approval. Now, step 3, Navy Federal actually have a pre-qualification. Now, by doing this helps take the guesswork out of you just shooting in the dark, applying for credit cards. It'll show you the ones that they pre-qualify you for. Now, this is not a guarantee. It just gives you a better chance of seeing a pre-qualification without giving you a hard inquiry. Now, if you're a person that are really struggling with bad credit and low credit scores, if they show you the secure credit card, that is okay, because even if you get that secure credit card, Navy Federal starts to look at your account if you use that card responsibly within 6 months in order to convert it to an unsecured credit card. And I have seen people that put down just $500 and they convert that card to a $2,000 credit card. But for everybody else, I would suggest the credit cards I would go for first is the cash rewards or the go rewards or their platinum card, because those are easier bars to qualify for, and you can get a larger credit line from the start with those cards. Now, with those cards, you can initially get a larger line of credit versus the Amex and especially the Visa signature card that they have. Those they would like to see you have possibly a higher credit score, especially with the Visa signature. They definitely want to see you with at least a $5,000 line of credit already as a revolving credit card to qualify for that card. So if that's not you, I would avoid those cards and take the other options to apply for if that's coming up for your pre-qualification. Step number 4, now that you chose the right card for you and if you got approved, this is going to be your 4th step by bumping up your credit limits. So here's the key. Now with these credit cards, if you would have chose the other, some of these credit cards go up to $50,000 as a credit limit if you get that card. Now, with the N rewards, it will convert over into the Go rewards. And at initial of that card, you will need to wait that 6 months if you get that secure credit card. But just keep in mind with Navy Federal and those other cards, if you did not take the signature flagship card, those are a little easier to get credit line increases, which is going to be very important. So Navy Federal has what they call a 91.3 rule, meaning you can't, once you get a product, apply for another one for 91 days or 3 statements. Now, I suggest you wait 100 days and then try to increase that credit line, especially if you did not get approved for a card over $5,000, because for my last and final step, that marker is going to be the most important. So you want to bump that card up and you want to make 6 months. Don't even try, if you got a secure credit card, to try to bump up that limit, because it will not work. You have to wait for that card to convert. But for everyone else, because those other tiers are a lower standard, you can get those increases quickly if you follow that rule to get you well above to that $5,000 or above that $5,000. And for the fifth and last final step, which will be the most important, you must break that $5,000 limit. Now, the fifth and final step, you want to do a product change over to the flagship signature card, because that's going to be key to get that $80,000 limit with Navy Federal. Now, with that flagship card, this is their signature card. Now, with that product change from the other cards over to the flagship card, which is their premium card, you must have at least a $5,000 credit card limit in order to convert that card over with your other Navy Federal cards. One of those limits has to be at that amount. Now, the flagship card is the only card of the bunch that go up to that $80,000 limit. Now, once your other credit cards get to that $5,000 limit, now you can do that product change, but you must wait and have that card for a full year. But keep in mind, you are already taking the steps to increase that credit limit, or if you got the secured card, you're already about 6 months in before they convert it, and you should now be asking for that increase to your credit lines prior to this. Now, when you convert over that to that flagship card, now you can get another increase, and your credit score and your relationship with Navy Federal should be in an awesome place. And now you can increase your limit to them possibly up to $80,000, even if you still have some lower credit scores. You have built that relationship with Navy Federal, but you just have met the requirements to get at that 80,000 by using the other cards to bump up to that $5,000 limit. Now, this is important because there's not many institutions that I know that will give you a large limit credit card like Navy Federal, even starting off with those lower credit scores. So hopefully this information is helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section. But if you have more detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and submit your questions, and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.